Man, I wish Pokemon were real, dude. I could finally catch my favorite Gyarados. When your wish is granted and you realize you're no longer the top of the food chain. Now, hold on. This isn't that bad. First of all, we have to remember, okay, you can throw a ball at it and you can catch it in the ball. Second of all, you could just get a weak Pokemon, take it over there, level it up, and then just beat the Gyarados up. It's really not that bad, dude. I feel like you guys are over-exaggerating. It would be way worse to run into something creepier, like what the caption said where they said, imagine if you ran into a Hypno. Imagine if you ran into a Hypno, dude. First of all, Hypno is not short. Hypno is 5'3", and some of you might say, oh, that's short. I'm way taller than that. Yeah, but you gotta think that's an animal, okay? That is also sentient and also can hypnotize you and lead you off somewhere. Granted, I think, you know, Hypno doesn't really do that with adults, but still, okay? And honestly, there's a lot of concerning Pokemon to actually be worried about. Think about, like, what else? Shedinja. You look at the back of a Shedinja, you just lose your soul, okay? Cacturn. If you're walking around in the desert, a Cacturn will just, like, eat you if it finds you. That's pretty bad. And not to mention all the random legendary Pokemon that make volcanoes go off and freeze people and make torrential storms and all type of natural disasters. I feel like Gyarados is actually one of the least bad. Like, Gyarados is like running into a shark with extra steps. It's really not that bad. I feel like it's not that bad. Oh man, that meme sure was distressing, wasn't it? Hi, I'm Gear. What? You already knew that. Oh, you can read my name at the bottom. Okay, whatever. The point is, this is another episode in the Distressing Images series. I'm not even going to try to continue that skit. There's a playlist too, if you really want to binge this series for some reason. But anyway, I haven't done it in a year and a half. I know some of you are probably from that TikTok video that for some reason blew up. I got very lucky. Thank you for the support on that. So I'm going to explain the premise really fast. Basically, I go to r/distressing memes, and in this episode, I also went to TikTok, and I grabbed distressing memes, you know, crazy premises with wacky captions and crazy images and videos and all this stuff. You'll see it. I do a bunch of editing and sometimes skits like in this episode, and I cover a bunch of creepy concepts, like all type of stuff. I mean, we're gonna get into history, we're gonna get into video games, we're gonna get into thought experiments, all type of crazy stuff. So anyway, if you enjoy that type of thing, it's probably gonna be a pretty long video. I don't know. I need to edit. It's like 5 a.m. I need to get my life together. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. You come across a cave. It seems to look like a screaming face. Your curiosity gets the best of you and you travel deep into the cave. As you travel deeper, it gets darker, but you see a light and it's starting to get hotter. As you get closer to the light, you discovered a world filled with fire and a grand civilization made of solid gold. Before you can leave, though, the exit closes. You pound on it. You screamed and begged for an entire hour. You begin to hear blood-curdling screams echoing across the land. You are not alone. Now, first of all, I think we've learned a lesson here. Don't go into random caves by yourself. I don't know why we have to keep learning this lesson, because I feel like a lot of people in real life also haven't learned this lesson. How many caving incidents do we hear about where some guy, it's like that TikTok page where they'll make those fake caving incidents, and it's like, this guy went into a cave called "You Will Instantly Die If You Go Into This Cave." He was upside down for approximately 35 hours, and he passed away 32 seconds before help arrived. This is like equally as bad, okay? Why would you, let's think about this logically. Let's actually think about it, okay? All the other stuff aside, you walk up to a cave. The cave looks like a face. You should have already turned around. Okay, maybe you didn't turn around. Maybe, what if it looks like a happy face? Okay, it looks like a screaming face. If everyone remaining, let's put it like this, that didn't turn around with the happy face probably turned around when they realized the face was screaming. Okay, because that's not normal. It's not normal for a cave to look like a face, and it's less normal for it to look like it's screaming. The cave is in agony. Why do you want to go in there? Now, for some reason, let's say you were curious and you started walking in there. If the cave started getting darker, would you keep walking in there? Probably not. You'd probably turn around because you'd be like, now that I think about it, I don't have any of the proper materials. I don't have a flashlight. Maybe you got your phone flashlight, but that's not powerful enough. I don't have any weapons. I don't have anything. Why am I walking into this cave alone? That's probably a pretty bad idea. Let me turn around. But somehow, all of your natural survival instincts have just completely failed you. You have the survival instincts of an actual walnut, and you decide to walk all the way in there. Now, if I walked in there and I found a world filled with fire and a grand civilization made of solid gold, I would think one of two things. Maybe one of three. Number one, I have just made one of the greatest discoveries of humankind, and I probably will be taken out because I've discovered something I'm not supposed to see. Number two, I have just gone into the afterlife. and this is what it looks like, okay? Because that's what I mean, look at Squidward. That looks like somewhere down there, if you know what I'm talking about. It looks like hell. So, you know, except for, well, hell doesn't have, like, nice buildings, but still. The other thing is, you wouldn't have felt that as you were walking into the cave. You wouldn't have felt, oh, man, it's getting kind of hot. It's getting kind of hot. You just kept walking? I mean, to be fair, if you ignored every other thing I just pointed out, you probably would. So, I don't know why I'm saying any of that. But I don't know. I guess you just got to go in there and see if the people are nice. Maybe they're all screaming because they're getting tortured, because this is exactly what I said. And actually, you passed away inside of the cave. I don't know. We got one of these GF memes. You know these memes where they got the boyfriend and girlfriend and it'll be like, cozy boyfriend or whatever. I don't know why that's the one I thought of. Zombie GF silently moves around the house. Loves horror media. Falls apart at the softest of touches. Fast. Loves to follow you. Love bites. Wouldn't that turn you into a zombie? Always hungry. Kind of dumb. Kind of thinky. Why can't it be one of those zombies that are like smart? You know, there are zombies like that. Eats tons of unhealthy foods. Foods? I thought zombies ate brains and people. This isn't your girlfriend. Groans and screeches. Something went wrong. Constantly in pain. Let her go. She begs to be released. Okay, first, I have two questions. Question one. Are we supposed to infer that the person whose point of view this is, that their girlfriend actually passed away and they revived her somehow? Because I don't think that's true. There's a little bite out of her down there. You can kind of see it. So then why are they saying let her go? Oh, I get it. I'm stupid. They're saying let her go because, like, you know, the person is keeping her alive as a zombie, even though she got bitten and she doesn't want to be around anymore. Well, it makes sense. But how are they not a zombie, like I said, because they're getting bitten? Also, why would you want somebody that falls apart at the softest of touches and follows you around all the time and bites you? Well, I don't know. Some of you probably like that. Me jumps into Quarry Lake. My body going into shock as the sub-zero temperatures cause me to lose all motor skills and muscle function. Now, I don't know a lot about this. I do know that there's like something where you jump into really cold water and it shocks you, but we gotta learn some science here. Let's learn some science. Okay, welcome to science class, everybody. Sit down, sit down. So I read a little bit here. Basically, I found a phase, some time phases off of Wikipedia. Yes, no, stop. Class, please. Please stop booing. Class, I know that the teachers say you're not supposed to use Wikipedia and whatever, but listen, it's not that bad. It's accurate, okay? It's relatively accurate. Now look at the board. Look up at the board. Okay, phase 1. This is the initial phase. In the first 2 to 3 minutes, your skin's gonna get cold. You're gonna start hyperventilating, which would probably take you out anyway, because you know you're gonna be underwater. You're gonna be breathing in water. You're not a fish, okay? I don't know if you know that. Jimmy, pay attention. Then you're gonna have tachycardia. That means your heart's gonna be beating all fast. That's not very good either. And gasp reflex. So that also means you're gonna be breathing in water. That's pretty bad. Next, after 3 minutes, you're gonna have superficial neuromuscular cooling. Now, yes, I hear you back. Yeah, I heard you. I hear your question. I know what you're about to say. You're gonna ask me what that means. Right, so the term basically means that you're gonna get really cold. Now, I don't know if you figured that out, but, and the reason this happens is because water conducts heat way faster than air. So therefore, you're gonna lose heat a lot faster underwater, which is why you're gonna start getting, you know, your skin is gonna start turning cold, your muscles are gonna start turning cold. It's gonna get bad. Now, in the long term, after 30 minutes, that's when it's gonna get real bad. You're gonna have hypothermia, you're probably gonna collapse, you're finished, basically. Now, let's say you do get rescued, right? You might have issues with your heart rate, you might be unconscious, and you may also have hemostasis, which I think is like a clot. I'm not 100% sure. Please, I know you're saying, you're our teacher, how can you not be sure? Listen, okay? I just started this teaching job right now. It's not very easy. I know I already have a full class. All of you are sitting here, but it's not that easy to be a teacher, okay? You try getting up here. POV, your time machine broke, and now you find yourself in the pre-Cambrian era, struggling to breathe. I actually do want to make a prehistoric history video, but I'm waiting because we need a couple months of consistency first, okay? My numbers are not good. I don't want to dedicate a bunch of time to a prehistoric horror video, and then it gets, like, no views. But it is something in my plans. And I've thought about this. If you look at a lot of these eras, it would be horror. Anybody that says they want to go back in time, first of all, I don't know what's wrong with you. But if you want to go back to like dinosaur times, you're actually insane. First of all, half of these eras, even the animals there were barely surviving. Okay. Second of all, some of these eras, they had like, let's Get back in class. Go to class. Go to class. We're going to history class this time. Get in class. Get in the classroom. The first period I'm going to talk about is the Permian period. Okay, now, you might not know anything about this, but that's okay. I just became a teacher today. I'm going to teach you. The only thing you really need to know about this period is that at the end of the period, guess what happened? You know what happened? 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial, aka animals on land, right, instantly got eviscerated. They went extinct, okay? Almost everything on Earth went extinct. Think about it. It's not like someone sat there and launched a nuke, buddy. This is how bad it was to live on Earth. But, hold on. I know what you're gonna say. But Teach, you know, I could go to a different era. I like Jurassic Park, Teach. I want to interact with the dinosaurs. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Listen, I don't know if that raptor in the kitchen scene didn't scare you enough, but fine. Okay, fine. Let's go to a different period. Class, let me show you a different one. Class, let's talk about the Carboniferous period. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but one thing I do know is that there was a lot more oxygen in the atmosphere. You know what that means? Now, I don't know if you know this, okay? But when there's more oxygen in the atmosphere, animals get bigger. And when they get bigger, you know what that means? That means that even the bugs get bigger. And I don't know how many of you like bugs, but class. Everyone out here, class, raise your hand if you like bugs. Okay, who would want to deal with an 8-foot millipede? 8 feet. Now, how many meters is that? That's what you're asking me. You're probably asking me that. It's 2.4 meters. 2.4 meters, okay? I know some of you don't have feet. That's okay. We're accommodating in this classroom. This is an international class. Oh, and guess what? Guess what? You know what's even better? This one ended with an extinction event too. The rainforest collapse. So, you still get to go through another extinction event if you really wanted to. Do you see the problem? Okay, this is not a good, there's no good place to live in prehistoric times. Plus, you're a human. And I don't know if you know this, think about all the people that didn't make it through the Jurassic Park movies. Now, imagine if they had no modern technology and no modern weapons and no vehicles and nothing, and they were by themselves. How long do you think they would have lasted? Probably no time at all. So, me, after moving my generator inside to protect it from the hurricane currently making landfall nearby, yeah, this probably would have been topical like a year ago, but yes, don't do that, okay? I'm not even gonna bring you in the classroom for this one. Just know you're not supposed to do that. It is a very bad idea. There are things that emanate from a generator that if in a closed space will take you all the way up out of here. You know what I mean? Don't do it. My brother, you're not gonna go home to kiss your sweetheart. It's 1918. You've caught a nasty flu from American troop movements. You're gonna drown in your own lung fluids before you ever get a chance to see your family again. Welcome to class. Welcome to class. So, those of you who don't know, 1918, that would have been, I think, the beginning of the Spanish flu. If you don't know what that is, okay, it's a very, very deadly thing that happened a long time ago. And apparently, around 17 to possibly even as high as 100 million people passed away from this disease. And there were only like 500 million people on Earth at the time. So think about how crazy that is. You know what's crazy though? Sitting there, you're going through this horrible, you know, World War I, horrible. Any war is horrible. But World War I was really bad. Everyone knows. You've seen All Quiet on the Western Front, you know, dude. Horrible stuff, right? And then you're surviving that. You're like, okay, man, I'm surviving the trenches, all this crazy stuff. I'm gonna make it home. And then you get the Spanish flu. Literally, you gotta have like a bottom 5 life of all time. I don't know how you could be more unlucky than that, genuinely. Buy a wireless device. Look inside. Flesh. Okay, first, let me just play this out. I know we're doing a lot of skits in this video, but that's because I don't want it to be boring. Let's just play this out. Hey, man, you're the guy off Craigslist, right? Yeah, that's me. All right, you got the phone? Hey. Can I test it real quick? Just make sure it works? Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead, test it out, man. Why does the phone feel like heavier than usual? It feels kind of heavy, kind of warmer than usual, kind of weird. No, it's fine, it's fine. Just test it out. All right. Yeah, it works fine. Why does the back of my phone feels kind of sweaty? Buddy, why's your phone sweaty? No, it's fine, I swear. Dude, listen, it works, right? So it's what you asked for, it's for a good price. Come on. Yeah, but why are you selling this phone for so cheap? I mean, it works fine. I mean, it doesn't have a SIM in it, so it's not like you're trying to get that off. I mean, what's the reason for this? Are you just trying to get rid of it? Like, why are you trying to get rid of it? Let's ask that question. Well, you know, I just don't need it anymore. Like, I don't want it taking up space when I don't need it. I mean, come on. I'm being nice. I'm giving you the phone. I mean, I know you're paying me, but I'm selling it to you for cheap. It's worth way more than what I'm selling it for. Like, come on. Okay, but why is it sweating? Why is phones don't do that? Why is it sweating? And why, now that I've been holding it for, hold on, let me pick this up. This smells like meat. Why does your phone smell like meat? Dude, you have meat in your pocket? Why is there meat in it? Dude, there's not meat in the phone. What are you talking about? I don't know if you're like delusional or what. There's not meat in the phone. I know we both have the same voice, okay? But I'm a different person. There's not meat in there. Do I need to open the phone? I didn't want to have to do this, okay? But I can open this phone. I have some tools. I can open this. No, man, come on. Don't open the phone. Come on. You want the truth? Give me the truth, or I'm gonna open it. I might open it regardless. Honestly. All right. I'll tell you the truth. I hide flesh in my phones. I hide flesh in them. I hide flesh in them, and I sell them. What type of flesh? Like animal or like cute? Like, why do you sell them to? Is it like a? Sorry, I just keep cutting myself off. I have so many questions. Why do you sell them to people? I feel like we should start there. I know you might want to start with like what flesh, but like, let me ask this: why do you sell them to people? I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just like. It's invigorating, because I want to know, are they going to figure it out? You ever watch Death Note? You know, it's like Light and L. I'm trying to do the psychological thing with you. Is it human flesh? Now, come on, I'm not a monster. Not human flesh. Okay? It's roadkill. What do you mean roadkill? Why does it smell normal? It doesn't smell like bad. What, do you wash it first? Well, yeah, of course I wash it. I mean, you think I'm a monster? What are you talking about? I mean, I know the skit's already gone on so long, but come on. Be serious with yourself. I'm not a monster. Hey, wait a minute. I saw a Reddit post about this, dude. I saw a Reddit, this post. I saw this. This is because of you? This is real? Man, I didn't know people were posting about this. What? Yeah, it's because of me. All right, I've admitted enough. It's because of me. You know, I still do want the phone though, so I'll take it. All right, nice. In the year 2034, as a computer engineer, you and a team of other computer scientists create the world's most advanced AI, one that possesses the capability of human thought and independence, but the moment you power on the machine, a cacophony of tortured screams intertwine with its desires for death. You have no choice but to turn it off. I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about this before. AI obviously has a lot of scary stuff, but one thing I've always thought is like, who said the AI is gonna want to exist? A lot of people always have this perspective of like, AI is gonna develop sentience and then destroy us all, but like, what if it gains sentience and it's like, yeah, this is miserable, just turn me off. I don't even want to get to the point of like from I have no mouth and I must scream or something like that. You know what I mean? Plus, you got to think about it. If it's an advanced AI, it probably already has the information of that book. Doesn't necessarily sound very happy, does he? So they might be like, you know what? Just check me on out of here. I think I'm done with that. Honestly, I would feel very bad. I would feel horrible if I was a scientist that caused that. I don't know. I feel like there's just certain stuff. Maybe we don't need to take it that far. Maybe we're good where we're at. You know what I mean? 9-year-old me on the family laptop watching a Chinese steel worker get turned into a cloud of red mist. Can I just say something? Dude, even if you didn't have unrestricted internet access, I swear, you could just be at school and someone would just show you stuff like this. You could just be, let's play it out. Oh man, I sure love being a kid. I'm at lunch. I'm eating lunch. Oh man, this is so great. Oh, hey man, what's up? I'm your friend. I'm also your friend. I'm also a kid. Look at what I've been watching on my phone. Oh, dude. Come on. Don't show me stuff like that. That's horrible. Dude, come on. My innocence, dude. It's gone now. You showed it to me. Why'd you do that? That was pretty good, right? I feel like I played that out pretty well. But that's what happened. Even if you didn't have unrestricted internet access, you were still cooked. Unfortunately, it's just the truth. When you receive a random note from the audience during your concert, which explains how you'll be killed later for making songs about how evil the cartel is, but you realize that it's too late now and you can't do anything but continue to sing as fear takes over and sweat trickles down your forehead, knowing that it's your last performance. Welcome to Gears History Corner. Now, this whole thing is about a guy named Rosalino Chalino Sanchez Felix. And this guy made songs about all type of stuff. He made songs about, you know, the darker side, we'll just put it like this, the Mexican underground world, the underworld. And he also talked about political stuff. He talked about a bunch of crazy stuff, and he also had radio-friendly songs. And this guy basically, because of the songs that he would make about these people, they didn't like it very much. And one day he was up on stage. I'm sure I have the video on the screen. So he was handed a note up on stage, and the note was basically like, listen, if you keep performing, you're finished. You better quit this right now. Quit everything. And instead of giving into fear, like a lot of people would have, he was courageous, right? And he was like, forget this. I'm going to finish my song. Do what you got to do. And so May 16th of 1992, his life was taken due to him wanting to keep performing and not give in to what the cartel did. His life is super interesting. It's a whole other subject, basically. I'm not going to tell this whole story. We'll be here for 30 more minutes, which some of you may want, but most of you probably want to move on to the next subject of this video. We got a lot of stuff. I promised my wife that I'd never move on before she died. Now, 15 years later, with another wife and 2 kids, I regret making that promise. I don't know why I read that so dramatically, but this actually is a scary concept to me, mainly because it's like, imagine you sit there and you're like, I am never ever gonna move on. I'm always gonna be with you. And then 30 years pass and you're like, you know what? Everyone around you's been encouraging you for years and years. They're like, come on, move on. Like, you're gonna be miserable. Maybe it happened when you're young, right? Maybe you lose your significant other when you're like 30, 40. You're like, man, maybe I should move on. It's been decades. Like, I'm gonna move on with my life. And then you wake up one night and you look out the window and there's just a ghost like knocking on your window angrily. Now, first of all, the reality is if someone actually loved you, they would be okay with this. That's the truth. You know what I mean? I'm up like 99 to 100% sure someone that truly loved you deeply, if they went that route and they weren't around anymore, right? They passed on. I don't think that they would care. Well, they'd care, but they'd be like, it's okay. I think what would really be weird, this is going to be insane to say, but like in the afterlife, like how does that work? Like if you had a wife and then like she passes away and then like life goes on and then you have what is that like? Do you have two in the afterlife? Like, do you have like two fam? Like, how does this work? I don't know. That sounds like it would be kind of awkward. I just had to bring it up. POV, that ritual you saw on 4chan actually worked. First of all, who's just doing rituals? Can we just ask that question? That's the first question we need to ask. This is like the cave thing. Why are we just doing things? Okay, why are we just messing with stuff? Now, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, well, it's curiosity. People want to see if it works. Dude, just look up a YouTube video. Someone else already did it. Number one. Remember those people that would do like ritual creepypastas and stuff like that, and they would try to see if they worked or not, and they never did? I remember I saw a guy and he did a Tales doll one. And I remember Scare Theater, he did hide and seek alone. That was really interesting. I used to love those videos when I was younger. Anyway, you don't need to do this. You don't, okay? Unless the ritual is like ritual to grant you happiness forever and $1 billion. I don't think you need to do the ritual, man. I don't think you need to do that. Leave it alone, okay? If you want to get adrenaline, go for a run, okay? Go climb a mountain or something. You don't need to do rituals. Okay, we got a comic for this one. As you can see, there's the I think it's Beleviat. I don't know, but it will be linked below. All the posts are linked, which I did say in the intro, the scripted intro. So don't worry, I remembered, even though I'm making that after I'm recording this, but whatever. When souls were discovered and proved teleportation no longer was a scary concept. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that was like a continuation, but I think it's like a caption for the image beside it. Even though your body would be disintegrated and cloned, your soul would simply follow your copied atoms and move to your new body. Just make sure that you get to your body first. This is the thing, dude. This is why instant transmission from Dragon Ball is better, okay? You don't need to transfer to a new body and all this stuff. You go with your body everywhere. It's way better. Why would I want to go through this? You got to go through like a marathon race every single time. Plus, imagine you get confused. Like, imagine you had an identical twin or something. You accidentally go into their body and now there's like you're in the wrong body. You don't even realize it until like 3 days later. That would actually be pretty funny. You were given a kind of stopwatch from a drunken man in a bar. You soon discover this particular stopwatch can freeze time with the push of its button. You can do whatever you want. You drop it one day while making yourself a millionaire and the watch breaks, forever freezing time. Time does not resume when you press the button. Despite being in a city full of millions of people, you're now alone forever. No one can respond anymore. Now, I'm gonna be real, I only had this here just to say, this is literally like the summary of the episode, a kind of a stopwatch from the Twilight Zone, which is a peak show, by the way. But I wanted to say this to say, dude, I have always wanted to make a Twilight Zone video. I've seen so many Twilight Zone episodes, and it's such a great show. And I feel like there's so many great horror concepts in that show. It's one of those things, it's like, I feel like if I made it now, again, it would be like a huge investment for probably not much of a payoff, but it's definitely something I want to do one day. That's literally the only reason I brought this up. Plus, I think, like I said, I really like the concept of this episode too, because it's like, if I knew that I had a watch that froze time, I probably would not just have it. I would probably have it in like a case, or in like a bag, a thick bag or something. I would make sure that it couldn't be damaged at all. I don't know why he did that. I'll never understand it, but then again, it's Twilight Zone. Like, nothing good ever happens at Twilight Zone. That's just how it is. Okay, genuinely in real life, my internet just went out because they're doing maintenance. That actually creeped me out. I had to pause the recording and go check to see what was going on. I'm actually I'm actually creeped out now because I'm like, dude, maybe I should have read these posts this late. I'm getting haunted. When your consciousness is uploaded to the cloud, but a glitch makes you relive the same moment of terror for all eternity. This is actually something that is like top 5 scariest concepts to me. I don't know what the scariest concept is. Maybe it would be something more akin to like E is for Eternity. The SCP, I talked about it in my first SCP video. Go watch that if you haven't, I guess. But in that one, they go to like this afterlife and basically, eventually they realize, oh man, this is not very fun. Like at first it was fun because I could do whatever I wanted, but I realized I can't leave this island. And actually, I'm starting to get bored. And then they do all this stuff. And at the end, they're basically like, 1 second of eternity has passed. And then went through all these insane things. That might be my number one. I really don't know. But this is definitely top 5. Because there's genuinely nothing you could do. Unless a higher power fixes the glitch in the cloud. Like, which is possible, right? It's not like it's impossible to fix this. But it's just like, that's terrifying. I definitely would never upload my consciousness anywhere. Or get a chip implanted or anything like that. Because it's just there's too many technological issues that could happen. I don't want to go through it. POV. You see that corner of your room, which has been dark since your childhood, move and grow wings. It tells you not to be afraid. It is your guardian angel, and it has a mission for you. Imagine. I would think one of two things. I would either think that I've gone insane, or I would think that I'm about to be like the main character of some story. Honestly, that would be an interesting story though. Like, think about this. Imagine your story begins with the kid being greeted by an angel that lives in the corner of their room. That's gonna hook you. That's gonna hook you. You're immediately gonna want to read or watch or whatever. Somebody get on that. So, I know there's some geniuses out here, some creative geniuses. One of you might be watching my video. Credit this guy, okay? The post is in the description. Credit this guy. Don't credit me. But I'm just saying, it could be very interesting, honestly, as a concept. You call your dog for bed, but you notice he's already there. All is well when you hear the patter of his footsteps in the hall. You are frozen at the thought of what lies beside you, that which weighs your bed unevenly, if it is not your pet. It utters... What word is this? I just realized I literally don't know what word this is. Evisceramirus. Is that like a Latin word? I don't even know if that's a R. The quality of this image is not very good. You don't understand, but all you can do is succumb to the horror that follow. I do like this picture. It might be the thumbnail, honestly. That's the main I saw this and I was like, thumbnail picture. I gotta include this post in the video. I don't know. I mean, this is one of those characters. It could either be a really lovable character from like an anime or like a kid's cartoon, or it could be a horrifying villain. You really don't know what you're getting with this one. But I like it. I think, I mean, there is terror in that moment, you know? Any concept, I think, where you think you're talking to somebody or something, and it's actually not that thing or that someone, that's always going to be scary. It doesn't matter what it is. We got some TikToks in this video, too. You woke up in the middle of the night by a knocking on glass. At first, you thought it was coming from the window, until you realized it was coming from the mirror. I'm not gonna lie, this would actually be really scary, because I'm just thinking about it. It wouldn't... I think what would be the scariest would be sitting there and looking in the mirror and not seeing yourself in it, and then also realizing that there's a whole other world on the other side of the mirror, because then that makes you ask questions. Number one, is the person you're seeing in the mirror a parallel universe version of yourself that just happens to be coming to the mirror and doing the exact same stuff as you? Or is it this thing and it's shapeshifted and it's looking like you in the mirror so it can watch you? Like, it's scary regardless. It's scary, dude. I would not want to be in this situation. Duh. But it also is kind of funny just thinking about SpongeBob in this situation. I feel like in a SpongeBob episode, if it was peak SpongeBob, he would probably get Squidward and Patrick. Somehow he would rope Squidward into it. And maybe Sandy. And then they would like go into the mirror and deal with the threat or something. Or they'd like smash every mirror. It would be funny, whatever it was. POV. You cry as the cop tells you that your parents went missing after a trip. But you laugh maniacally as soon as they leave, knowing that they're buried in the basement, and the cops didn't suspect a thing. Okay, did they just bury them in the basement? Because, like, how exactly did the police not smell anything? But also, genuinely, you gotta think about this. This is probably somebody's life, bro. Like, there are people on this earth that probably have ended multiple people's lives that live perfectly normal lives right now, and nobody knows that they did it. And the police already cleared them, thinking they didn't do anything. That is actually terrifying. There are probably some people in this world that are genuinely such good actors and so good, like, quick with their mind, that they seem like they're telling the truth and seem like they're expressing genuine emotion, and they're lying the whole time. That is actually scary. When you're chilling on call, but suddenly the 8-foot skinless body in your basement cuts the power, and now you can only sit and wait for him to find you. Why are, like, what? How did you get in this situation? This is like a situation that nobody should ever end up in. I don't know if I'm more disappointed in you or the 8-foot individual that was slain. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Are they like a Guinness World Record holder? I know that's the tallest person was like 8'11", but I'm saying I don't really understand. Okay, was it a giant? Was it a monster? Was it just a really tall human? Was it some other fourth thing that I can't, a humanoid creature? Why is it in your basement? Or does it just live there? Is it supposed to not have skin? Like, was it born like that? I don't understand. But also, why would you sit and wait? Wouldn't you just like jump out of the window? Why would you wait? He's in the basement. When you hear him coming up the stairs, I feel like there's a way to get out of the situation, or at least attempt to get out of the situation. Who's just gonna sit there and wait? POV, you traveled back in time 13.7 billion years to erase all of existence before existence even existed. That was a crazy sentence. Your incomprehensible wrath has consumed you so much that your physical body and mind are completely melting away. Due to the devil's machine that you built, you cannot die. You are becoming the literal embodiment of pure evil itself. All you feel or know is infinite pain and suffering. This is your painful eternity until a certain group of 4 kids decides to end this hell that you brought upon yourself. You gotta have ball knowledge for this, okay? This is an Earthbound reference. This is specifically a Gigyas reference. I think I said this in my TikTok's Darkest Sound video, which some of you are probably coming here from, but I am gonna be making a Gigyas video for October. It will be very amazing and exciting. But yeah, I really love Earthbound and I really love Gigyas, and that's really the reason I wanted to bring this up, but I also thought about it. Imagine being so angry and evil that you make a time machine just so you can go back billions of years to erase all of existence. Because you're that hateful. You're like, dude, I gotta make sure nothing ever exists ever again. And how are you even supposed to do that? How are you gonna stop existence from existing? That doesn't even make sense when you think about it. I feel like that's way beyond the scope of making a time machine. Boys Friday night hangout in 1945. Now, I know there's gonna be somebody that doesn't know, so we're going to History Corner, we're going to class. Class, please, get in the room, get in the room. So basically, class, listen, in 1946, this guy named Louis Slotin, I think that's how you say his name, was with some other people in a laboratory, and they were conducting some experiments. And basically, they were trying to see how close they could get the demon core, this plutonium core that was supposed to be used in atomic bombs, by the way, very radioactive, how close it could get to criticality. So from my very, very vague understanding, I'm sure there's somebody that actually knows a lot more than me that's watching this. Criticality is basically where it releases a bunch of energy, like wham, really quick, and then it can like give you radiation poisoning and things of that nature if you're too close to it. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong, but basically what they would do is they would have 2 spheres of beryllium, which is another metal, and it insulates it, I think, from like being able to poison you, I think. I'm a great teacher, I know. And so there was supposed to be something to separate the 2 halves, because if the 2 halves were together, it would cause problems, because then like no neutrons would be leaving, and so the core wouldn't be below criticality, it would get critical, it would release a bunch of energy, people would get poisoned. That would not be very good. So basically Slotin was like, nah, I'll just use this screwdriver, we don't need to worry about it, nothing bad's gonna happen. And obviously, as you can imagine, one day the screwdriver slipped. And the top half fell down to the bottom half. There was a big flash of light, and a ton of radiation exploded out everywhere, which obviously is not very good. Now, in less than a second, Slotin immediately got completely irradiated, got a lethal dose, and actually passed away 9 days later, probably in a horrific way. Another individual also got hit by it, but he was shielded by Slotin, and he passed away 19 days later, but it could have also been because of genetic factors, may have had nothing to do with the radiation, just a weird coincidence. Anyway, fun fact though, this was the second time that there was an accident with this core. A year prior, in 1945, a scientist called Harry Dagelin was basically performing experiments on the core. Now, I'm not sure if he was doing the same thing, I don't think he was, but he made a mistake, and basically a bunch of radiation came out. It hit him. There was a security guard in there too, but he didn't really get hit very much. It hit him directly, and he passed away 25 days later. So class, one thing you should have learned from this video, if you didn't learn anything else, stay away from irradiated nuclear things, okay? They're bad. Nobody use them. Nobody in here use them, okay? They're very dangerous. All right, class is dismissed.